Welcome to another of the Builders Agency Lessons. Today we're going to talk about the importance of asking why when you lose a customer, when you lose a client, when you lose a contract, when you're up against somebody, you're competing for some contract or a project and you lose it. Asking the whys, trying to get those answers. So turning basically a negative into a positive as we try to do in business. And I'm going to try to stay focused because I just turned on a plugin, a new payment plugin on one of our busy e-commerce sites for one of our clients. So I'm okay. I'm fine. I'll try not to think about it while I'm doing this. It's anything related to payments. If you make changes, it's like, okay, please, everything. We did all our testing. We did all our upfront work. Okay, I digress. Okay, so let's talk about this. So I have actually some examples from this week and then in general. This week related to a specific design contract. I think it'll be a good framework to talk about this and learn from. So I had gotten a referral for a full web design and development project. Awesome. Love referrals, right? And it actually went really, really well. A couple meetings with a couple parties involved with this project. We were within budget for sure. And I basically communicated exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build we're going to design, go through the whole wireframe process, design, and then build a full site editing WordPress theme for them. So blocks all day long. And it was beautiful. The meetings went really, really well. They landed on a positive note. Everything was going great. Now, I did have to take an extra few days to make some adjustments after that last meeting to the contract because some things came up that were going to be add-ons, but it still was within the communicated cost of that project. Now, when I sent that last updated proposal out, I, within probably an hour or so, got sorry, we went with somebody else. Thank you for your time. And what was a little shocking, it's like I was actually kind of excited about getting this one. It seemed like a fun project. It was a direct client. We do a lot of agency work, so it was a direct client. It would have been really fun to do that in-house. And so my kind of heart sunk a little bit there, but I quickly got over that. And we move on. We keep going. It's not the first contract I've not gotten. That's part of the business. I've been doing this for a good 4 years. This particular agency and probably, did freelancing before this. So you don't always get the project. So that's just kind of part of it. You can put hours into something and bid on it and you lose it. So that's not the problem. But what I try to do when that happens is I try to stand back and just, breathe. And then I just reply to that. And in this particular case, I simply said, I understand. Totally cool. I'm probably not in those words. But I said, if you don't mind taking a minute, if you can just let me know what it was that, what was the reason you went with this other person? What was the cause of that? Was it related? And I threw a couple things out there. Was it related to the pricing, the cost? Was it related to our offer or something else? And then nothing happened until it either was hours or the next day she replied. And she said, you know what? You were actually exceptional. I had two to choose from. I just happened to go with this one because they also offered this other thing. And this other thing, so it was in the same price range that I had proposed, but they offered an additional marketing component that we don't offer. So that was actually a positive thing. And the other person that was involved with this project said the exact same thing, because I reached out to this other person and thanked them as well. This is what you do, right? You don't just be like, go cry and go drink a beer or something. you reach right back out and, you say thank you or whatever. You do that. But they said the same thing. They said, she had two exceptional choices to make. You were one of them. She just happened to go to this other one because it was a better fit for her situation. Now, here's the thing. So that made me feel better. Why did that make me feel better? Well, it wasn't my pricing necessarily, but it was the fact that we don't offer marketing. That's not our avatar. Now, I didn't catch that during this whole conversation. They even sent me a document and stuff of what they were looking for. I didn't really catch in there, or it was subtle enough where it didn't seem like it was a big deal. I don't know. I don't remember it being a thing. So if I would have caught that up front, I could have, handled that objection right away. But it actually has me thinking that going into these meetings now, that is an objection that I want to try to rebuttal right away. Like, how could we manage that? So I say it's not a part of our avatar. What does that mean? We're a web design and development agency. There's a lot of web design and development agencies that figure out that they need to also offer marketing and advertising or whatever, these other digital marketing things that people are looking for, right? And they do that for a wide range of reasons, monetary, all the reasons, to land more business. But that I know that, but I have digital marketing experience. It wouldn't be hard for me to add those services. But in terms of unified web design and what we offer, that is not our thing. It's just, that's what we've defined, and we're doing just fine. But we actually, our whole wheelhouse is we partner with other digital marketing agencies and advertising agencies for them to do that work, or for us to help them deliver on the web design development side. So we don't have to, we're partnering with those people. We don't need that in-house, right? And also, that way we're not competing with our agency partners and stuff. We're not going to they don't have to worry about us taking their marketing business because we don't do marketing. That might change a little bit next year, but it's only in a very specific vertical industry. But we won't go into that. But that is, so when I look at it, I did not worry. I didn't have to worry about it. Now, if it was pricing or if it was something else, I would have had to look at, maybe more internally, are we, pricing this too high, or are we too, whatever that would have been. But it gives you an opportunity to do that. But understand, people are willing to give you that feedback. If you come back positively, and in fact, the other guy said, that's a great, you got a great attitude. So I wish I would have had that in my sales years or whatever. I don't know. But just because I lost that, I still want to learn from it. And that's what I told her. I said, I'm always trying to improve. And I said that in the email. I said, I asked those questions. And I'm like, I'm always looking to improve and get better. And I appreciate your time. And people are willing to give you that feedback. It's the same thing if you are selling products. I've sold a lot of products in the past, but even if you have a low refund rate, there's a refund rate. There's always going to be refunds. Trust me. Somebody is going to want a refund. And even in those situations, now you can automate some of this too, depending on the systems you're using and stuff, but that's another opportunity. Like if I have somebody in the ticket center who says I need a refund or they're not happy with something, ask why. Why is this? And a lot of times it's interesting because you can think yourself into a lot of different reasons. Like, we're just terrible. Our product sucks or whatever, but it might be actually more legitimate. It might, like in this situation with this contract this week, it might not be something you've done. It's just not a good fit. So that sometimes happens with a product. They tried it out. It's not a good fit. They want a refund. That's not your fault. They just weren't your audience. And that's just sometimes, hopefully you can do that, have a good sales page and have the good messaging and everything. So that'll happen less. That's why you get lower refund rates if you communicate what they're getting up front so they're not surprised by something that's missing or whatever. Another conversation. But in all of this, though, always take pause, right? Something like that happens. I know it's harder, especially in the beginning, right? Because you want all the business, because you're desperate to make this thing work, right? So it's really hard, and it can really be upsetting to lose something that was really big. For us at this stage we're at with our business, we still, I mean, the larger this was a decent sized contract. Yeah, I'm kind of sad a little bit, but really would have liked that. Would been a great way to start 2023. But we'll win some. We'll win others, right? We have other things going on right now too that we're winning at. So, but you turn that, try to turn that into a positive. Go back to that person, thank them, and see if you can extract some feedback that then, some of that you can. It does help you improve. It does help you identify things that maybe that need improvement, but it also may just make you feel better because they just weren't a good fit. Hope this helps. Hope it inspires, all that good stuff. Till next time, take care.